called a couple of days ago and asked if I could do something here at the program tonight, and I tentatively agreed. And then he called back a couple hours later and said, "Sorry, Charlie, Cripple My is coming. You have been bumped." And he said, "Maybe you can do something on our next program, which will be February 10th. And, but we still want you to come." So I said, okay. So we talked it this afternoon, and I said, well, I could do 5 minutes, like a preview of what we would do on the 10th, if I was able to make it up here for that program. So this presentation is actually much assisted with visual effects. Anantashesh, could we switch places? Sure. So yeah, I always get asked to speak when everyone's really would rather be taking prasad. So that's my karma. But so anyway, there's different kinds of yoga. In this bhakti tradition, we try to invoke the blessings of the Supreme Lord by chanting, because the Supreme Lord likes to hear his name chanted, so he bestows his blessings on us. In other yoga paths, they have sort of a different approach. We awaken our energies, awaken our potential, we control the mind, control the senses, and practice certain disciplines to improve ourselves, to make us worthy of the grace of the Almighty. So, but as far as chanting goes, every singer has vocal training. They do exercises particularly related to the breath to improve their lung capacity and so on. So if we're going to be engaged in the bhakti path, we may as well maximize our abilities and our effort as far as the chanting goes. So there are certain ways that we can improve our ability to chant nicely. So I want to give you if you could actually set it on your lap so everyone could see it. Not that I want you to,
this way, right?
Yeah, that's fine. Every time we breathe, the breath comes in, goes down the windpipe, goes into the region of the heart, and there's gaseous exchanges, and then the breath mixes with the blood and is carried through the body, through the bloodstream. In this way, we oxygenate our cells. We can't go on for very long or live a very quality life without healthy cells in the body. So deep breathing is very important. It's said by most people in the medical profession that most of us only use 1/8 or even 1/10 of our lung capacity when we breathe. However, if we can practice deep breathing, not only will we become healthier overall, but we'll be able to chant better and hear the holy name better. So that was sort of a description of the physical, what happens on the physical level with the breath. On the subtle level also, it's always recommended to breathe through the nose, except in emergency where you desperately need extra air. Breathe through the nose, the air becomes purified, it becomes filtered, it becomes warmed by the mucous membranes and so on. Mouth breathing is always discouraged in yoga. There are a few practices where mouth breathing is allowed. But anyway, when we breathe, and also the main point of breathing through the nose is that we draw in more prana. There's an energy originating from the Supreme Lord called prana, which sustains the entire universe. And when we breathe through the nose, we take in a greater amount of prana than we do when we do mouth breathing. When we breathe in, the air on the subtle level comes in two passages called Ida and Pingala. First it goes through the cribriform plate in the front of the brain, goes to the top of the skull, and then it starts descending down the spine in this sort of pattern. Ida originates from the left nostril, Pingala from the right nostril. And it descends to the base of the spine. This is the spinal column, but it's not the spinal column as we know it. It's the sushumna, The sushumna is a subtle channel existing within the spine. If when we breathe in and we take in prana properly, and then we expel it properly by tightening between in the perineum, the prana will come up this central channel of the spine and go to the top of the head where you see this lotus flower. If you can actually perfect this sort of technique, you see this subtle form of a 1,000-petal lotus opening above your head. So the yogis can achieve some amazing things through these types of practices. So before we take prasad, I wanted to say something. Also, one thing you should know is that we've been chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and there are hundreds and thousands of mantras because the Supreme Lord has hundreds of thousands of names. And also the sacred word Om is considered non-different from the Maha Mantra. Here is Om. You can see that you think of Om usually as O-M, but it's actually A-U-M. And each syllable is meant to be pronounced the same length of time. That's the correct way to chant Om. There are nice descriptions. I'll read one in just a second. This is the symbol of Om. And we could go on talking about this for a long period of time. But since time is running short, I just want to read something here. And then we'll chant Om 3 times, and then we'll stuff ourselves. The sacred sound Om has been sung and chanted by meditators and yogis since time immemorial. It is not a sectarian sound, the property of only one tradition. This syllable is highly regarded in all cultures and by all spiritual paths. Many of the English descriptions of the Supreme, omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipotent, begin with Om. Many who have studied the world's religions feel that the Judeo-Christian utterance Amen, as well as the Islamic Amin, are variations of Om. So Ah arises from the heart, U arises in the throat, and is tasted by the lips. So this is the full expression. It is considered to be the original and complete sound. And it's also, Om is also referred to as pranava, that which issues forth from the prana. And again, I want to repeat this because this is important. As far as the recitation of Om, it is to be repeated with both realization and genuine feeling, understanding its full significance. Each of the 3 letters of this word are meant to be distinctly uttered and should be recited for equal lengths of time. So, in the yoga tradition, sometimes the exhalation is considered more important than the inhalation because the exhalation purifies the entire system, gets rid of the carbon dioxide, and so on. So, without further ado, let's chant Om 3 times. This is the way I would like you to do this. And remember that most of us, myself included, I was never really taught how to breathe deep. I've done shallow chest breathing all my life. But to get the deep breathing, simply just draw in as much air as you possibly can. Please do that now. Hold it for a minute, and then exhale through the mouth. One more time. Full capacity. Exhale gently through the mouth. Now when we breathe in very deeply and we exhale forcefully, as a matter of fact, I'll just tell you quickly, the 2 most important pranayama or breathing techniques in yoga are Kapalabhati. Sometimes it's confused with another one called Bhastrika. But it's simply this. It's a long, deep inhalation followed by a short, forceful exhalation. Bastrika is a little different. It has an equal length of the inhalation and exhalation. Now when we exhale, we're getting rid of the carbon dioxide, and then when we have just enough breath left to chant, we're chanting with the pure pranic force. So I'll give one demonstration, and then I'll ask you to join me. So you ready? Breathe in deeply. Exhale and chant. Again. One more time. Okay, and finally, you'll notice on the bookshelves here, there's a lot of transcendental literature. The books used in this tradition, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, many other books, the Upanishads, so many, the Puranas. There are many, many books in this tradition. And sometimes it's said that the cream of all literature is the Chaitanya Charitamrita, because the embodiment of the absolute truth, the Supreme Lord himself, was on this earth 500 years ago, from 1486 to 1534. Sri Krishna Chaitanya. We chant Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. We're offering obeisances to Radha and Krishna. But the combined form, Krishna and Radha combined together in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya, he was on this earth 500 years ago. And in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's very clearly explained what I was talking about before, that this recitation of Om is not different from the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. So I recorded the Chaitanya Charitamrita in 2008, and it's on an MP3 format. It's 3 discs, 10 hours of narration on each disc. And I would like to give everyone here one of those for free tonight. I'll have them stacked up on the table where they serve prasadam. You can take one as you leave. And if there's nothing else...
and then are you going to do February 10th work for you?
February 10th I can be here.
And what do you think? Should we do like a half an hour before? How long do you need?
We could spend a half an hour doing,
Well, we can still do it afterwards. We can do it like after, at 8:30.
we can do anything, but the thing is, it's best to have an empty stomach.
Oh, right, yeah.
Now, I'm sure you all brought your appetites with you, and sometimes it's said, you should wait 3 hours at least after eating before you do pranayama. So that'll probably be no problem, especially if we do it after the chanting like that. But yeah, we could do, there's almost every yogi agrees there's about 6 or 8 of the most important breathing exercises, so we could run through those and we could see how they relate to improving our chanting.
And we'll Shikha put it out on the airwaves. If anybody haven't left their information, what is it, Shikha? It's Pittsburgh Kirtan Group.
Pittsburgh's Kirtan Center. Look it up in Facebook.
Pittsburgh.
It's a Facebook group you can join.
And then everybody make sure you leave your text. We'll text everybody. We'll figure out a plan when we're going to have it.
You said February 10th?
No, it's actually, we're not sure if it's going to be February 10th, but we'll let everybody know. That's the next Kirtan here is February 10th. And we'll see if we can...
That's a Friday, right?
That's a Friday.
Yeah, we're going to switch to Friday.
The first Friday.
No, it's
Second
the second
and fourth
Friday.
Fridays. Yeah. It's the second, so it'll be second and fourth Fridays. Yeah. So, that was just like a prelude of what's to come. And then also, Creekmine, would you like to just speak just a little bit about...
I think...
Whatever you think...
The hour is getting late.
Okay, all right.
So we will...
I have a nice prayer I'd like to say as a grace before then.
Yeah,
So,
okay, let's do that. You want to do that now? And
okay.
then Creekmine, I'm sorry I didn't set you up for the time.
No.
But so, we'll make it happen though eventually. And everybody feel free to talk to Creep Maya when we're taking, because
Kurt Maya got bumped.
he's very, right now he's very sad, and no, he wants people to talk to him, but I mean, his Ramayan that he did is really magnificent, heavy questions, and then will you make yourself available some other time, no, Creep Maya?
Definitely.
Oh, great, okay, thank you. Thanks a lot, we appreciate it. Okay, so,
Okay, well, could we bow our heads for a moment of prayer? Heavenly Father, we thank you for this wonderful company tonight as we remember those who are alone. We thank you for the excellent foodstuff so lovingly prepared as we remember those who are hungry. We thank you for our good health as we remember those who are ill. And we thank you for our freedom as we remember those who remain in ignorance. May this remembrance inspire us to serve you in pure devotion. May we always use your gifts for your pleasure and for the benefit of all. Amen.
Hare Krishna.
Very good.